Good morning, welcome to the meditation. Let us take a moment to arrive in front of our screens. I invite you to take 3 deep breaths. Every time we inhale, our body and mind refreshes. Every time we exhale, our body and mind relax. So this morning we will be engaging in Shamatha practice, single-pointed meditation, also called calm abiding. Before we do so, we'll try to generate a Mahayana motivation, a motivation of bodhicitta. So we can try to remember how, since time immemorial, since beginningless time, we and all sentient beings have been trapped in the vicious prison of the mind, the vicious prison of samsara, cyclic existence, continuously taking rebirth again and again due to the power of karma and afflictions. Because of not seeing reality as it is, because of apprehending things as being objectively existent, being solidly real from their own side. Because of this, we have this sense of ourself also existing inherently, objectively, independently from anything else. This gives rise to inappropriate attention. We think we are the center of the universe. We think we are more important than others. And this gives rise to a lot of mental afflictions. This gives rise to delusions such as attachment, anger, pride, jealousy, and so on and so forth. Because of these afflictions, we constantly engage in karmas. Most of them are negative karmas. For example, due to attachment, we might, kill, we might steal, we might lie. And these actions, these negative karmas, inevitably ripen in the form of unpleasant experiences. They ripen in the form of suffering. We can see around us people who are living in countries that are at war. We can see people who don't have all their physical or mental capacities. We can see people who are falling sick. We can see even animals, those who are living in the wild, constantly living in the fear of being eaten by bigger animals, or the animals that we as humans see as food, how we are treating them, how they are experiencing a lot of suffering. You can think of, for example, all the chickens for the KFC, in which conditions they are living. Hundreds of them in small cages. In fact, we even cut their beaks so that they don't harm each other. And they are just waiting, to be sent to the slaughterhouse. Imagine what it would be like having a life like this. Try to generate a sense of compassion for yourself and all sentient beings. May I and may all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. The causes of suffering being karma and afflictions. Now I have this precious human rebirth, so I will do whatever it takes to free all sentient beings from suffering and the causes of suffering. But how can I do that? I myself am deluded with afflictions. I myself am continuously taking rebirth in samsara due to my karma and afflictions. So first, I must liberate myself from all afflictions, from karma. I must free myself also from all the cognitive obscurations. I must become fully awakened. I must become Buddha. I must reach the state of omniscience in order to be able to guide sentient beings unmistakably, perfectly. Try to give rise to this most beautiful mind of bodhicitta, thinking, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become a Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become a Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Try to abide in that wish, in that aspiration to become a Buddha in order to guide sentient beings perfectly. And with this motivation in mind, we will engage in 15 minutes of calm abiding, shamatha, single-pointed concentration. I'll remind you of the instructions. The first instruction is to look at your body posture. Ideally sitting on the floor in the full 7-point Vairochana posture. The most important of these instructions, this posture, is for your back to be straight, for your body to be upright, for your spine to be aligned. If you are sitting on a chair, make sure at least you are not leaning towards the support, but also don't lean forward. Try to be upright. You can imagine a string pulling from your crown, pulling your body upright. Your hands are sitting on your lap with the meditative mudra. So you have your right hand sitting on the left and your two thumbs are slightly touching, and this rests at your lap. Make sure the body is flexible. You can turn from left to right. And there is some air, under your armpits. There is some space so the air can flow. The neck is aligned with the spine, slightly tilted forward, but not too much. The shoulders are even and relaxed. The eyes are not actually closed, not fully closed, they are slightly open, but we are not paying attention to what our eye consciousness is apprehending. It is the mental consciousness that meditates. So your eyes are slightly open and just gazing in space, 45 degrees cast down. The tip of the ancient masters is for your tongue to be towards your upper palate, behind your upper teeth. This reduces the production of saliva. The second instruction is the focal point, the object of meditation. What are we meditating on? So if you're familiar with shamatha meditation, you can use the object that you normally use. And if you don't have an object you're familiar with, what I would suggest is for you to visualize a tiny dot of white light between your nose and your upper lip, so in this area. A very small dot of white light, maybe 1 or 2 millimeters in diameter, and place all your attention there. So we'll try for 15 minutes to remain on that object without being distracted. The third instruction is that during meditation, our minds tend to get distracted. And two most common ways in which the mind gets distracted is excitement and laxity. So we need to identify those errors of meditation. So the first excitement, is being distracted with thoughts, mostly about the past and the future, for example, thinking about what I will do later today, what I will eat for lunch, and so on and so forth. This is excitement. The second, laxity, is also called, dullness or lethargy. It's a kind of mental sinking, kind of falling asleep. This is the second way our mind gets distracted. This is the second way our mind loses the object. So the fourth and final instruction is to apply the remedies, to apply the antidotes against these two ways the mind gets distracted. The first one is called introspection. Introspection meaning constantly throughout the meditation, a small part of your mind should be checking. Am I meditating? Am I concentrated on my mental object? If I notice that my mind has wandered, either with laxity or excitement, immediately when I notice, I make the effort to bring back my mind onto my object with mindfulness. And mindfulness means also non-forgetfulness. So when I bring back my mind onto the object, I also tie it there. I tie my concentration, my attention onto my object so that it stays on the object. But again, once I have done that, again, introspection in the back of the mind is checking. A small part of the mind is checking. Am I meditating? Am I meditating? Am I on my object? And immediately when I notice again that my mind has wandered, I bring it back to the object and try to remain there as long as possible. So we'll try this for about 15 minutes. gently come out of the meditation. And we can dedicate the merits that we have accumulated by contemplating, try to generate the mind of bodhicitta, and by trying to develop our concentration by meditating on shamatha. We can dedicate these merits so that we might soon, very soon, achieve the state of full awakening in order to benefit all sentient beings without exception and lead them to that same state. May the supreme mind of bodhicitta that has not a reason arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. We can dedicate our merits so that our lamas may have long and healthy lives, especially His Holiness the Dalai Lama. May he live long and healthy, and may all his holy wishes be immediately fulfilled. We can also dedicate so that our precious spiritual director, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who showed the aspect of passing away in April, so that we may soon, very soon, find his unmistaken reincarnation. And we can also dedicate so that all wars and conflicts around the world immediately come to an end, and so that there may be no new wars, no famines, no sickness, no epidemics, no natural disasters. And may peace and happiness prevail in everyone's hearts and lives. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a beautiful day.